Hello everyone. Today we're going to talk about how to make a static site generation using Next.js. So first, I have created a Next project using npx create next app. Then right now after doing that, I will have these folders and I'm going to install some libraries. So first would be Next Redux wrapper, Redux, and Redux thunk. Alright, so as it's installing, I'll be creating a folder here. So the first folder would be store, and inside the store I'm going to have another file called store.js. Great. Alright, so from here, as we have successfully installed Redux, you're gonna see, you can verify here it's installed. So I'm gonna close this. Alright, so right now I'm gonna connect my Redux with my next project, and this will help me get preloaded states. So firstly, I'm gonna import Redux. So this is how we can do. So firstly, it'll be import create store, apply middleware, and combine reducers from Redux. So first we're going to import from Redux. We'll be importing create store, apply middleware, and combine reducer. Alright, then we'll have to import the next wrapper. So I'll do create wrapper, and that should be from next wrapper. Great. So we have that too. Now I'm gonna do import thunk middleware from Redux thunk. Alright, so now we're gonna do, that's all we have right now. So first I'll be adding my user. So I will create a reducer. Sorry, I'm gonna create a reducer. So it'll be combine reducer, and I'll do combine reducer, and I'll add my reducer here. Alright, great. So right now I'm gonna add a middleware. So I'm gonna have a middleware, and that will take a function, another middleware. We'll take the middleware as an argument, and I will have the dev tools. So I'll do process dev tools. So we're not gonna show the logs in the production. And then I'm gonna require this from Redux dev tools extension. Great. So try to have that. So this will help me give the logs, and when you're like debugging, it will help you debug the project better if you have this in your development. So right now we have required it, but we didn't install this. so I have to install it using npm install React DevTools and extensions. Great, so after I install this, now what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna return here, return compose with DevTools, and I'm gonna use apply middleware. I use dot middleware. Okay, so I have that. I can change the name here to actually blind middleware, so it doesn't confuse with this middleware here. All right, so we have that right now. So I'm gonna create a store now for my Redux. So I'm gonna do const make store is server. So this, it will check if it's we're in server, and if is server, and then we can do return create store combine reducers we have here. I'm gonna copy this one, put it here, and then I'm gonna copy the blind middleware, put it here. Great. So blind middleware takes a middleware as a function. So I'm gonna apply them. I'm gonna use a thunk middleware. So it takes an array. So I'll do an array thunk middleware. Great. So right now we have what we have done here. If it's server, we're gonna create the store, and we will have all the reducers, and we're gonna have the middleware with our DevTools extension. Great. So right now, what we're gonna do else, if it's not a server, not in server, then if it's on the client side, then we're gonna do const. We're gonna store it. We're gonna use a redux persist to store our states in the browser in the local storage. So we're gonna use persist store. Let's see. So we're gonna do require redux persist. Okay. And I don't think I've installed redux persist yet. So I'm gonna go npm install redux persist. And now I'm gonna import persist store and persist reducer. Great, so we have imported that. Now I'm gonna declare the storage here. So I'm gonna do const storage equals to require, and then I'm gonna take the default one, default storage, that will be the local storage. So I'm gonna do persist lib /storage. Okay, and then I'm gonna do default. So by default it will take the local storage. Right, so right now we're gonna use our persist config. So we have to declare, so what will be the name of the key for our storage, the local storage. So we're gonna do redux persist. We're gonna use persist config, and I'm gonna use key for that. It will be, I can write here my SSG, and I'm gonna whitelist. I'm gonna have here whitelist. So what to persist? So here you're gonna persist what kind of all the reducers that we're gonna persist will be in the whitelist and the storage where it's gonna store. So here we go. We're done with the configuration. So right now what we're gonna do is we're gonna put the configuration in the persist reducer to put it in our redux store. So I'm gonna do const persist reducer, and I'm gonna do persisted reducer so it doesn't confuse persisted reducer. Okay, persisted reducer equals to persist reducer. Then I'm gonna do persist config. I'm gonna pass persist config here, and then I'm gonna do combine reducers. So all the reducers will go here, and the config of the reducer, where it's gonna store in the local storage. And after it's done, I'm gonna create my store. So I'm gonna create my redux store. I'm gonna do create store, and here I will use my persisted reducer, and I will also have my blind middleware. That'll be dump middleware. All right. So right now, I will have to. I'm gonna have to persist. I'm gonna have to use a persister to push the persisted object so that it will be available in our it'll be available in our app. So how to do that? So we can do store dot, sorry about that. Okay, Google, stop. Sorry about that. So I'm gonna do underscore persist. Okay, I'm gonna stop the video here. Alright, so we have we created a store with persisted reducer, blind middleware, and we connected our thunk middleware in an array. So right now we're gonna put the store persister equals to persist store. Okay, we're gonna store here we're gonna put our store here, right? And we're gonna return the store now. Great. So we have done that. Now I will make the wrapper. Export const wrapper, create wrapper, make store. So what's happening here is I have create wrapper that's coming from next redux wrapper, and I am putting the store that we have created here in here. All right, so right now I'm gonna take this one, take the wrapper, and I'll go to my app, go to pages, app, go to my, and then from here I would have export default. I'm gonna put my wrapper here. I'm gonna do dot with. Okay, first let me import this wrapper. Okay, so I'm using auto import, and I've imported the wrapper. So wrapper dot have with redux. So once I do that, I'm gonna get, if it's server or it's client, it's gonna go from here, and then with redux it's gonna have all the state for preloaded. So right now what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna go here, and I'm gonna create a in my first page, let me first run this page. Let's see what happens. I'm gonna delete this code from my page and delete all this code. So this is the code that you get when you first make a next project, and I'm gonna delete everything from here. Okay, and I'm gonna have right here h1 welcome to my site, my SSG site. Okay, let me test this one. I'm gonna run it and see if it's working. gonna run this. I'm getting error. Okay. Skill node. It says that I have another. I'm using the same port. So I'm gonna go to my localhost. Okay. It is giving me an error. Okay, what is this? Okay. Combine middle, it's already declared. Okay, let me go back to my code. Let's see my store. Combine middleware, combine reducer is declared. Okay, so I have to change this name to combined. Let's do that. Okay, let me run that. Combined reducers, and I have combined reducer here. Combined reducer. Okay, I'm gonna pass that here. My persist reducer. Okay, let's see. So everything should be good. Combine reducer here. Hit server. Combine reducer here. All right. Let me see. So now I'm gonna close this one. I'm gonna run it again. Okay, let's try now. Okay, still have an error. It says module not found. Okay, combined reducer is imported, it's not exported from Redux. Okay, let's see what's going on here. Combined reducers. Okay, let's see. Combined reducer. Combined reducers. Should be S here. My bad. So I'm gonna close this one again. Terminal. Okay, we'll run again. Let's see. Okay, still get an error. It says cannot find React Redux. Alright. So I'm gonna go to my the terminal. I'm gonna install this. Alright. So hopefully it shouldn't have any error now. Close it, run it again. It's running. Still have an error. It says require cannot resolve extension. Okay, why is that? I don't have extension. I do. Go back to my code. Okay. Redux DevTools extension. It's saying it can't find module not found. Alright, see what's going on here. I do have Redux DevTools extension. I don't understand this. You know what? I'm just gonna remove this for now. I don't need this. I don't need this. Okay, let me just have this for now. Let's acquire. Let me reinstall it. Okay, I think it's. I have it. I don't know why it's giving me an error. Okay, let me copy this one. Let me go to my terminal and reinstall this again. Okay, let's try run again. Okay, here we have our site is running now. So I'm gonna get it here we go. So it's running. Alright, so right now what I'm gonna do, let's see. Okay, so everything's working fine. I will create another route. So I'm gonna go to my pages and I'm gonna create a folder. I'm gonna write here user okay, I'm gonna write here user page. Okay, users. Alright, so in my users route, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna make an index file. So I'm gonna write index. I'm gonna write index dot js, and here I'm gonna import React. So the fastest way, as I'm using snippets, so I'm gonna do rfce. So I have the snippet, so you can use that. So you can go to the extensions and download React snippets, and I'm gonna change this one to users. Alright, user page. Actually, I'm gonna write this one to user. Okay, it's fine. Alright, so right now I have React imported, and what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna test this if this page is working. So first I'm gonna do hi display users. Okay, I'm gonna give an h1 tag here and put this one inside. Alright, so I'm gonna display a list of users here. Alright, so I'm gonna create a link in my page now. So I'm gonna create a link here. I'll write link link, and okay, I'm gonna link find users. Okay, and I'll do href, and I'm gonna do users. Alright, so now if I click on users, I'm gonna come here. Let's try this out. Let's see if it works. My page is giving me error. It's not defined. So I need to import this. Control space, enter import. Okay, it doesn't work. So I'll import this one from import link from next link. Alright, so if I save this, should be working. Alright, so I have this, find all users. If I click on this, great, I get display all users. Nice. So I have this route going on, and right now I would like to see some fetching data. I'm gonna fetch some data here. So I'll go back to my users, right? And what I'm gonna do is I will write here. Okay, I'm gonna write here fetch data, fetch users. Okay, async. I'm gonna use synchronous function. Okay, I'm gonna use synchronous await, and I'm gonna use xos dot get, and then I'm just gonna use JSON placeholder URL. So here we go. Alright, so and then right here dot then Okay, so I'm gonna do error here, error be false, comma users will be response dot user response dot data actually. Alright, close this one. Alright, so here I have, I'm getting the response and the error is false here because I successfully got the data. But if there's an error, so I'm going to catch the error. I'll write here catch, and if there is error, it will be false. Users will be null. Alright, so we have our fetch data. So I need to actually import this one from XOS. So let's see. I'm gonna import XOS from XOS. Okay, I have to install the library. So I like using XOS because it's easier. You can use anything you want. Alright, so we have this one ready, and let's see, it's giving me an error here. What is that? Okay, it's going to return. Oh, alright. Okay, so I'm gonna write here export const get static props async, and alright, so get static props, it's coming from, it's gonna be it's with the Next.js, the newer version of Next.js. So I'm gonna write here the data. I write const data is equal to await fetch users. Alright, so I have fetch users here. So I have all the data here. So now I'm gonna return this one. Return props data. Great. So I have that one. I have user props. Alright, and now what I can do is I can go here. Actually, I can get the user like this. So what I can do is I can have data users, copy this one, paste it here, and now the users, I can make a list of users. So I can do basically what I can do here is I can do users dot map, okay, user, and then we can return, and for now I'm just gonna do h3, and I'm gonna do user dot name. Let's see. So hopefully if it works, I will get the name from this API. Alright, let's see. Works. I'm gonna go back to my user, look for the page, go back. Great. I'm getting all the users from the API. Now let's see. Alright, we're gonna refresh the page. So as you see, I can see all my my data here, and if I refresh the page, you see like all the data are preloaded. So this process is really good for SEO because you have all the data that you from your API already pre-rendered in the code. So in that way, all whenever Google crawler is crawling your page, you can see they can crawl all the APIs as well. And another good thing about this one is your API call is not listed in this Google and the Chrome network tab, so no one can actually find out like how you're making the API calls. So they stay hidden. So it's really good for security as well. So yeah, here you go. Thank you guys for watching. Please subscribe. And if you have any questions, you can always put in the chat or put in the comment. Thank you.